What is your what consciousness are you holding first for what to appear? I would love to know, what is that desire? Begin impregnating yourself through the medium of desire. I want this house so I can serve God, so I can take care of my family. Hello, and thank you for joining me. I am Maggie, and I'm grateful for you joining me here. We always start our videos out with prayers for Maui and the world. We are like a harp. Our heart has strings, and we're playing the harp of our heart as we say these prayers, heart and mind aligned, for the uplift of Maui and the world. So each one of us might have a different chord to strum. Maybe you're focused on what's happening in Canada, or maybe you're focused on what's happening right in your own family or at your school, or whatever it is. But we're holding up Maui, and we're also holding up the world, so that we're holding it in prayer. 30 seconds at the beginning of each video. And so let's focus today. Yesterday we did healing and peace. Today let's focus for maybe them to feel more love. Okay, so here we go. All the way up, we're releasing that to God. We're casting our burdens, we're casting our worries on there being the infinite ways for those prayers to be answered. And there's so much research that shows that prayer works. Getting in your imaginings work. Getting in the stillness, it works. Meditation works. Maybe you need different things at different times, but there's evidence to show it works. So, okay, so we're going to be picking up, we have been doing Neville Goddard's At Your Command. So, hey, yesterday we were asking ourselves, who do you say that I am? Or who do I say that I am? Who do you say who you are? We're also talking about holding ourselves in the desired consciousness. We're also talking about going in, shutting the door, and ignoring what says we are not, to holding the vision of what we are, the desired state, holding that. Okay, and it will surely come. Any thought, he said, thought enough times will harden into fact. So anyway, not direct quote, but we're getting there. Okay, so consciousness is the way or door through which things appear, he said. So consciousness is the way or door through which things appear. Is that better? Okay. Consciousness is the way or the door through which things appear. He said, I am the way. Not I, John Smith, am the way, but I am. The awareness of being is the way through which the thing shall come. So you're getting this? It's not me in my flesh, in my fallen state, with my, preponderance to be stuck on negativity or to choose, poor choices. It's not that piece. It is the I am awareness of being is the way through which the thing shall come. So the signs always follow. They never precede. So you hear what Neville's saying? He's kind of teaching you in energy, in spirituality energy. He's telling you that you have to hold hard, or maybe not hard, but you need to hold with great conviction that your desire is accomplished. You have to stay in that state, that consciousness of that Jesus held, and when you do that, the signs will follow. It's not going to happen. It's not going to proceed. You have to imagine, you have to hold the field for this to manifest, right? So the nurse, who is not born a nurse, decides I want to be a nurse, and she goes through certain things, prerequisites or whatever in high school, then prerequisites, and then into nursing school and all her or his, labs and different clinicals, and through that process of holding that I have that consciousness that I can become a nurse. It is that awareness of that I amness that I shall come forth as a nurse, right? I wasn't a nurse then, and I'm a nurse now, type of thing. Okay, but there's only now. So anyway, things have no reality other than in the consciousness. There is so much research showing that the brain, that's where you want to, fake it till you make it, or you want to guided meditation, prayer, visualization, imaginations, because until you create that in your consciousness, it's not going to be coming into a reality. So therefore, get the consciousness first, and the thing is compelled to appear. When you start to begin to think in your life how things that you wanted, like there was a time where I look back and I really didn't think that I could ever achieve these 3 things. One of them was like getting braces. One of them was getting into a certain schools, and something else of getting on a certain sport. But that was my one track. That was my goal. I had it written and I wrote it every day, those 3 things. And everything I did was focused around. And there were so many challenges that came in the way of that manifesting, but I didn't care because that's what I was going to do. And through that consciousness that I was going to achieve these things, the weird thing is that I never thought I could do these things in my whole life. And they all manifested in less than a year, probably 8 months, which was pretty significant. But anyway, and it was kind of crazy because I was so focused, and I thought, okay, these are big goals for my whole lifetime. These things happened within like 8 months, and it was, wow. So things have no reality other than the consciousness. So I had to have this consciousness before it came. Therefore, get the consciousness first, and the thing is compelled to appear. Woo! So what? Put in the comments. I'd like to hear. What is what consciousness are you holding first for what to appear? I would love to know, what is that desire? What are you, as Napoleon Hill would say, that one chief aim, that one passionate desire? What are you compelling to appear in your life? So you are told, seek ye first the kingdom, and all things shall be added unto you. Get first the consciousness of the things that you are seeking, and leave things alone. That is what is meant by ye shall decree a thing and it shall come to pass. Whoo, Neville is hot. Wow. Okay. Apply this principle and you will know what it is to prove me and see. The story of Mary is the story of every man. Mary was not a woman giving birth in some miraculous way to one called Jesus. Never, wow, straight. Mary is the awareness of being that ever remains virgin. No matter how many desires it gives birth to. Okay, wow, that's very, okay. Apply this principle and you know what it is to prove me and see. So this, Neville says, the story of Mary is the story of every man. Okay, so we're not looking at the historical aspect. We are looking at the psychological aspect. Okay, so try to take in the bigger thing here. But the story of Mary is the story of every man. Mary was not a woman. So we're talking about the psychological piece, giving birth in some miraculous way to one called Jesus. Mary is the awareness of being that ever remains virgin. Fresh, clean. Mary was just all these beautiful things. No matter how many desires it gives birth to. So Mary was that purity. Right now, look upon yourself as this Virgin Mary, being impregnated by yourself through the medium of desire, right? Like you've got your desire, you're shutting the secret place, you're shutting the doors, you're closing out the 3D, you're closing out the noise, and you are impregnating yourself through the medium of desire. that which you are going to manifest. So becoming one with your desire to the point of embodying or giving birth to your desire. So the example I continue to harp on is a nurse. Nursing school is not easy, and being a nurse is not easy. So shout out to all the nurses, shout out to all the medical medics. We love you. Nurse aides, we love you. Doctors, we love you. Nurse practitioners, PAs, we love you. But I'm just keep bringing it in with the nurse. So when you look at it, so somebody has the dream to become a nurse, right? Right now, look at yourself as Virgin Mary, being impregnated by yourself through the medium of desire. Okay, I desire to become a nurse so that I could, forever, whatever your reason is, I want to help people when they're in. I used to say that, nurses oftentimes stand next to people in the very worst day of their life, and that we have the opportunity to make it better for you, easier for you, remembered in a dignified, healthy way, or we can make it worse. And of course, what do we want to do? We want to make it better. We are compassionate, merciful. We are also intelligent, and we will intervene. So impregnate yourself through the medium desire, becoming one with your desire. So become one with the desire to become a nurse to the point of embodying or giving birth to your desire. And you can see that process. Okay, we have also been using the example of the house. So let's say you want to buy a house to take care of your family and have a beautiful dwelling place, wherever that is. See yourself, look upon yourself as a Virgin Mary. Begin impregnating yourself through the medium of desire. I want this house so I can serve God, so I can take care of my family, so I can have great comforting memories, cook great meals, all these things. Then become one with your desire to the point of embodying or giving birth to your desire. God will help you. Like he said earlier, don't get caught up with the how, because God has eternal ways to make it happen. So, for instance, it is said of Mary, whom you now know to be yourself, that she knows not a man, yet she conceived. That is, you, John Smith, have no reason to believe that which you now desire is possible, right? But having discovered your awareness of being to be God, you make this awareness your husband and conceive a man-child manifestation of the Lord. For thy Maker is thine husband, and the Lord of hosts is his name. The Lord God of the whole earth shall he be called. Your ideal or ambition is this conception, right? Because Mary, she was beautiful, she was pure, she was fresh, she had a heart for God, right? Okay, so your ideal or ambition is this conception. The first command to her, which is now to yourself, okay, go tell no man. That is, do not discuss your ambitions or desires with another, for the other will only echo your present fears. Okay. Secrecy is the first law to observe in realizing your desire. Okay, this is another reason why when you are discussing your ambitions and desires, they will always tell you, like, who are you hanging around with? Who are the 5 people closest to you? And by knowing who those people are and determining who they are, you will be able to sell where the trajectory of your life is going to go. So Neville is warning here. You go into the secret place, you close the door, you shut out the world, you hold your desire. Do not discuss your ambitions or desire with another, for the other will only echo your present fears. So in the Bible, Jesus performed the least amount of miracles in his own hometown. Why was this? Because they had no faith and they did not believe. So, if some of us in our hometowns, that's where we're having the greatest trouble with, picking ourselves up and getting to our dreams and goals and visions, acts of services and purposes and desires, because we are discussing our ambitions and desires with others who will just echo the fears and kind of try to beat you down. And sometimes people really mean well by it, but so Neville's saying, do not discuss the ambitions or desires, like how Mary did. Mary kept it to herself, and she pondered and she thought about these wonderful things that God told her many times. Try not to get triggered by these concepts, because Neville is trying to help you see another way of seeing through your challenges in life and how he saw this. Okay, so secrecy is the first law to be observed in realizing your desire. Okay, let's see. Okay, the second, as we are told in the story of Mary, love Mary, is to magnify the Lord. So the Bible says, Mary said, "Oh, my soul, magnify the Lord." So magnify the Lord. We have identified the Lord as your awareness of being, God. Therefore, to magnify the Lord is to revalue and expand one's present conception of oneself to the point where this reevaluation becomes natural. So, okay, let's say, for instance, like you are not a nurse, right? He's saying that you're going to magnify the Lord so much that you revalue yourself and expand your present conception of yourself to the point reevaluation becomes natural. Like you're not a nurse here, and then you start to reevaluate and you build confidence as you go to, I am a nurse. I can see myself a nurse. I can see my career. I can see all the wonderful things I'm going to do and all the wonderful people and patients I'm going to get to work with and all these things, right? It needs to become natural. And that's why we're going to keep going into the stillness and our imagination and creating this. So when this naturalness is attained, you give birth by being that which you are one with in consciousness. Okay, so that naturalness, the point where you are literally walking around like, I am a nurse. I own a beautiful home and I love it. That naturalness, once you attain that, things are going on in the spiritual realm and then they come into the physical realm. So this naturalness is attained and you give birth by becoming that which you are one with consciousness. So I am one with being a nurse. I am a nurse. I own a house, or whatever it is that you are accomplishing. I'm a lawyer, or I'm a naturopath, or I graduated from high school, or whatever it is. Like and also be excited. Want to enter the gates with praise and thanksgiving, okay? Because God has your back. Okay, so we're going to be covering more next time, but you are at this very moment drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being. I want to ask you, in light of magnifying the Lord, in light of, what is it that you are conscious of drawing in at this very moment? Now, it would be nice to leave it in the comments, but we are also guided to not discuss our ambitions or our desires with another who will echo our present fears. So maybe just say hi in the comments. But whatever it is, I'm wanting you to know I'm praying for every one of you, and I am backing those desires. I can just send the energy out to back those desires and wish for your very best. So if you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away, pivot from that which seems so real to you, and rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. So let's start holding that consciousness with a naturalness of the consciousness of what we are wanting to become. Okay, what is that? What is that? And you know what? If you are just journaling on your own, keep your, write it down, write love letters to yourself, because you will go back and read this in like 8 months and all your desires will be manifest. Like that's how real this gets if you apply these techniques. So we love Mary, we love you. So we are going to be practicing now. Everybody hit like, everybody hit subscribe, and leave your positive comments. I would love to know how At Your Command with Neville Goddard is serving you. What are you up to? I would just love to hear. So thank you so much, and thank you for those supporting me, Dale. I really appreciate you, Dale and Gil and Lisa and OK Godman, and so many of you, Tammy and Amy and Courtney, and just so many of you who are supporting me. I'm very, very thankful And I just want to let you know I'm praying for each and every one of you. And if you are needing a sign to get going on your dreams, goals, visions, acts of service, or purposes, or your desire, or your chief aim, basically, and when you start to get to it, they're all different words that boil down to the same thing. If you're looking for a sign, here it is. Get going. Start taking action. Okay? You get into the stillness, but you also got to get going. And you can do it. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Leave your positive comments. I am so grateful for you, and I will be praying for each and every one of you. And may you all be at peace. Thank you.